coat 1. I didn't film it because it is incredibly windy out. So I kind of just rushed. It only took like 2 minutes to paint that. That's the first coat. It looks blotchy. It's supposed to. The second coat will kind of fill it in. Since I use nitro, I need to give it 1 to 2 hours to dry and off gas before I can do the second coat, up to 3 coats a day. I'm going to try to get all 3 coats in today. It is only 6 o'clock. Or 5 o'clock. I should be able to get another coat in at 6. And then if there's still daylight about 7 o'clock, which there probably won't be, I'll get the 3rd coat. And then tomorrow I can start to clear. But I think we're only going to get the 2nd coat today. I will try to film that. I will have to drop the daughter off at dance class and run home, do this, and then try to walk the dog. But, you know, I'm contented with the way it looks right now. I'm getting some decent coverage. The paint came out pretty good. Only got a kind of a bit of a run right there. You can't see it there. Trying to hold it and did the top. Got a little bit of a run. I got a little close with the can, but I don't think it's that bad that I'm going to have to sand it and repaint it. So I think we'll be okay. Okay, I got the boom mic on. The wind's picking back up. Sun's going down, so we got to get this done quick. This is my makeshift holder. I didn't have a piece of timber wide enough to fit the neck plate, so it's a little bit loose, but we'll make do. Get this done before the wind comes picking back up. Gotta switch the nozzle. Okay, well, I should have been patient. The wind picked up. I tried to rush, and I got a run. Right, we can get it to focus. Right there, in a very prominent spot. So it looks like we will be doing a little bit of sanding and touching up. But second coat, all in all, came out okay. I just forgot to change the nozzle the first time, so I got a uneven spray. This makeshift neck is not working out very well. It's just loose because I have them. I only have half the neck in. I just didn't have a piece of wood wide enough. I didn't even have like a scrap 2x4. I only had like some short nubs, so there wasn't really anything that was long enough to hold on to, because I wanted a couple feet of a handle. So it is what it is. Again, haven't painted a guitar in a couple of years, but now I get to go clean off my brand new glasses because I just got these 2 days ago, and the wind blew and a puff went right in my face. So I got to go get that taken care of right away, which is one of the reasons I went with the long lens, so I could put the camera quite far away so the camera didn't get covered in paint. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it in the shed. Probably not overnight. It's kind of warm in there, but it's gonna get cold tonight. It's a frost warning. I I might bring it in the basement, but I'm going to leave it in here to off gas at least until 8 o'clock tonight for another hour or two. I'm not going to get a third coat tonight. I'm certainly losing sunlight. But nitro's not something you want to be inhaling, which is why I'm spraying it outside. I don't have a respirator, and I didn't want to spray it inside the house because I did that once. Not with nitro, just with regular rattle can paint, and that did not go over too well. It stunk up the entire house. Nitro, a little worse, so we're doing it outside, which is why I contend with the wind. The first coat, I got lucky. It was no wind at all for like 20 minutes. It only takes like 5 to spray if you have the nozzle correctly set, but I ran out here, I sprayed it super quick. My first coat, no problems. Second coat, wind picked up. But it is what it is. Again, I'm not going for perfection. I'm just going for something kind of cool. That's nothing that we can't fix, so we'll get a couple of coats on. I'll get the third coat on to see if I have to sand back at all, and then probably just wet sand it a little bit, spray it back over, and then I think I am going to clear coat it because I have the guitar stripped. I don't want to strip it again in another year or two, so I'll probably just clear coat it and let it ride, see what happens. All right, we'll check back tomorrow with the third coat. Okay, you can clearly see where I just did some sanding. If you get in the light here, you can see where the run was. It's a little bit darker right there, but it's smooth now. It's not raised anymore. And I'll just have to probably hit this section up with one extra pass at the end or something. But I'm going to have to do several more coats on this altogether. So eventually it'll blend in. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's not raised anymore. There was one run here, and then it kind of bubbled there, and then a little bit at the edge, which is kind of why it's a little more worn here, because the edges are hard to sand, and there was a little bump right there, but you can see the dark spot, but it is smooth now. So it's prepped for the next couple of coats tomorrow. Alright, I don't know how well that's coming off, for the simple fact that I did switch my glasses for old ones, but they're not the same prescription, so everything's a little off to me right now. Things are a little wonky. Also, I just inhaled a whole bunch of that nitro paint, so I'm probably a little high, but it's getting there. This is 3 coats now. The spot that I sanded, it's close to being covered. You can still see a little bit of it, but it's coming out here. There's still some dark spots because I didn't use a light primer. I left the sunburst, so you see a little bit of that black, especially in the edges coming through, where obviously in the middle where it was lighter, it's looking a lot better. But we got 3 coats. There is at least enough spray paint in the can for hopefully 2 more coats, certainly 1 more coat, probably 2. So we will be doing hopefully another coat tonight. I think I have enough sunlight. I might not be able to film it because it might be a little too dark to film it, but I should still be able to see. I did spray it over in the clearing yesterday when I filmed because it was a little more light over there as opposed to where I tried to hang it from the tree. I have hung it from that tree in the past, but that tree has taken quite a bit of lean, so the guitar was much lower. It used to be much higher in the air last time I painted. But I think, so far so good, coming out all right. I don't see any big runs. I think I just noticed one on the inside that was already there. It's hard to see. I think that one might get covered up. That one was there from the second coat that I did, but overall it's coming out pretty even. Once I get another coat or 2 on there, I think it will look pretty good. It's not going to be as bright, I guess, because I don't have a lighter color undercoat, but I'm content with the way she's looking thus far. So overall, I am pretty satisfied with my first coat of clear. Now, the tutorial I watched on StewMac, they did 14 coats of clear, and they used something like 5 cans. But because I bought 2 cans, I'll probably do 1 full can, do a little bit of wet sanding, smooth it all out, then do the second can. I got probably 5 or 6 full coats out of the can of Shell Pink, and then a little extra to just do the front after I sanded back and resprayed that spot that I messed up. So I can probably get 10 to 12 coats out of each, or out of the 2 cans of clear I got. So I don't know why they used 5 cans, I think, to do 14 coats of clear. But that's my plan, is to do 1 coat. I'll back sand that little run that I got in the clear, and then do the second can and see where we land. And honestly, if I'm kind of happy with the way it looks, like if there's only that one little run, if I don't get a lot more, I might just leave it. To be honest, I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for something that I like. It's only going to be mine. Obviously, I destroyed the resale value of this guitar. If anything, it's going to be stripped for parts, and I could sell the pickups, the neck for a couple of bucks, and then probably get the return on my investment for that. And I can probably get like $125 for this body now that I sanded it and painted it. But could be a good project for someone down the line, but I don't intend on selling it. So as long as I'm happy with it, that is the end goal. And thus far, I like the color. My daughter likes the color. She's a big fan of pink, which was a persuading factor in the Shell Pink. Also, I am also a fan of pink, so I went with that. But we're gonna let this cure, give it an hour, and then hit it with the second coat. And if it's not raining, I will bring out the camera and set that up. But I was trying to be quick to try to get these first 2 coats on, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to paint again for another 2 or 3 days, because it's gonna rain basically from this afternoon for the next several days. So I gotta wait for it to stop raining and then the humidity to go away before I can start spraying again. Okay, let's let this dry, because I'm getting high standing here smelling it. Okay, so we stopped early, and that is because clear coat is apparently the bane of my existence. Now, the pink came out pretty good. I was very satisfied with it. I had 2 little runs that were like the second to last and last coat, one of which you can kind of see right here. And then the other, I think the other one actually melted in. And that was because the horn, I oversprayed a little bit too much trying to get inside and outside. So I would turn it, and I think I just got a little bit too much here, and I got 1 drip. But you can see, luckily for me, it's mostly on the back. Right here is the worst of it. And that would be because the clear coat just decided to give me all sorts of issues. Now, there's also a bunch of little particulate that was getting caught in it. That was all in the clear coat. None of that really happened until I started doing the clear coat. Now, I did start the clear coat 1 time, and I had 1 little mishap, and that is right here below the control cavity. You can kind of see it. And this was something that I knew not to do, but I instinctively did anyway. The clear has a tendency to spit a little bit, and it did so a lot up front. And it wasn't that bad until 1 huge glob came here and started to run, and I didn't even think about it. I instinctively just tried to wipe it with my finger, and it wiped not only the clear, but also the shell below it. So then I had to let that dry, and then I resprayed 2 quick coats of Shell Pink there. So when you're looking at it, I mean, you probably can't see it, especially against some glare from this light above me. Let me block. It's this light, actually, I think. You get a little bit of glare, but you can't really see it. And that one came out okay. The back, on the other hand, this was all clear. This was the last coat I did of clear. It just ran, and when it ran, it also took the pink with it, and that was a huge bummer because I'm out of pink. So I did get a few quick touch-up sprays. You could probably see it was at the very end, so it almost looks like there's some tiger striping across the back here because the pink was basically out. And essentially the clear nitro melted the pink nitro, because I believe, I'm not 100% accurate with this, but I believe the way nitro cellulose paint works is it essentially melts on top of itself, and that's how it makes just like 1 solid layer. So your clear will essentially melt into your paint layer, your pigmented paint layer, and that's how it just creates this like 1 shell of nitrocellulose. That's why you do thin coats, so you don't get runs and it doesn't melt it and make it drip. So
I did luckily get just enough to kind of cover up, but you could clearly see the underlying paint, a little bit of the dark from the sunburst that this was underneath it. So I kind of just gave up. I didn't wet sand it. I mean, I could get rid of the bumps if I wet sand it, but I'm out of pink, and it's like $22 shipping for like one can of paint. So it's like $50 just to get another can of shell pink. And but overall, I mean, it's the back mostly. There was one tiny little run here on the front that I had with the clear as well, but that is pretty unnoticeable. So it's the back. It has no resale value anymore, so it doesn't really matter. If I sold this to someone, they would probably be buying it to repaint and do a project. So, I mean, where I'm at now, I don't want to do any more clear coating, so I don't want to sand back, repaint pink, spend another $50 on paint, and then end up having the same thing happen because the clear coat ran again. So I didn't wet sand it, but honestly, I don't have any orange peeling effect on it or anything at all. It's just a little bit rough, like right up here on the body, but other than that, I mean, it feels pretty good. The paint and clear coat, they're pretty good. There's a few bumps where there's some particulate. Again, most of it's from the clear coat. But really, I have this little mishap on the back and like one tiny rough spot right here. But I don't have any orange peeling effect. So ultimately, I'm pretty satisfied. This is, I believe, 6 coats of shell pink and then 2 coats right in this area to cover up that initial mess up, and then one little quick spray across the back to try to cover that up a little bit. And then I believe this is probably about 6 coats of clear as well. Let me do the math. I know I did 2 coats one day, 3 coats, and then 1. Yeah, so this is 5, maybe 6 coats of clear, and that's where I ended. I had initially intended to do the whole can, I have 2 cans of clear, so I was going to do one whole can of clear, wet sand, and then do the second can and end there, but I'm done. It's okay. It's good enough for me. The only other mishap that I completely forgot about is right up here at the top of the neck joint. You can see that little chip right there, and that is 100% my fault. So I guess when I taped the neck cavity with the painter's tape, I had a little piece that must have folded over, and I don't know how I didn't see it, but it was completely covered in pink, and I didn't notice it until I was doing like that second to last piece of clear. And at that point, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of too far along. I'll just peel it off at the end and just hit it with the little bit of pink that I have left. So that's what I did when I was whacking this spot. I gave that a quick hit. So I got like 2 quick passes there and then the couple passes back here. And that was it. But that was 100% my fault. I just screwed up with the tape. I just masked it. For some reason, it rolled over a tiny little piece, and it was, I scraped it away. You can clearly see the black from the sunburst and the blue gaff tape. Once I kind of scratched at it, I had to use my pocket knife to kind of pick it free. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it is what it is. I knew it wasn't going to be a perfect paint job, so I'm happy with the paint. I really do like the shell pink color, and when my daughter saw it, she was incredibly happy that I now have a pink guitar. So there we go. I got a shell pink telly. Next, we have to put it back together. Now, the one thing I did forget to order was I was going to buy some chicken head knobs for this because I have them on this telly here. You can see the cream chicken head knobs, and I really like the way those look. But when I bought the paint in the control cavity with the slotted pickup selector, I forgot to order those. I might order them on Amazon, but I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% sure if I want to go with chicken heads, if I want to keep the regular chrome knobs that were on there. So I didn't order anything yet, and I also didn't order pickups yet because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with pickups. This is routed. I could fit a humbucker, at least a mini humbucker in there. So I am considering maybe doing a mini humbucker in the neck. I do have a P90 in the neck over here. That's a set of Lindy Fralins. They're custom wound, so they match, but I have a P90 in the neck there that I love. I absolutely love the way that P90 sounds, but I did have a suggestion that I throw a P90 here. I'm not going to do that because I already have a P90 in a telly. So what I'm going to do is probably just, well, definitely I'm going to put the stock pickups back in it. just to play it, because I want to play it. I want to put this thing back together and play it. So I'm going to put the stock pickups in here and think about what I want to put in here. I might put something a little more vintage, get some of that vintage telly twang. But I haven't committed anything. I've had some suggestions both online and through some friends, and I'm taking all of them into consideration, but I have not fully committed to anything just yet. So the next episode is going to be me putting this back together. And don't worry, I'm not going to torture you with watching me take probably 2 hours to solder all the electronics back, because I'm terrible at soldering. So it's going to take me a long time to do, like, probably 2, 4, 6 solders. Six solder joints is probably going to take me about an hour or two, because I'm terrible at soldering. I'm going to second guess myself the entire way. So I'll just fast forward through some of that. But we're going to go ahead and put this thing back together and just start playing it, see how it feels, see how it sounds, and see if I can convince my friends to let me play a couple songs with them at their next show, which is probably not going to be for another month or two. So if I can convince them to let me play a couple songs, maybe I'll get some live action shots of me playing this in front of actual people and not just in this room. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So I hope you enjoyed my follies, and be super careful with your clear coat if you're using nitro, because you get to the end, you think you're almost done, and then everything goes wrong. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, over to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.